I'm live. At least it says that I'm live. Oh, I see me. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. And I see we're all in. You know, it's strange that every time I try to go live, it says that live streaming is not available. So I have to try a couple of times. I apologize for being a minute or two late. But I see 11 of you are here already. So hi, Teresa. Hi, Janice, Susan, and Awaken Geo. I don't know if that's for George, but hi, Awaken Geo. And sorry that I'm squinting. Hi, Michael. Hi, Vaughn. Hi, Lisa. And hi, Susan. So some of the usual suspects are in already. I have my water. Oh, so anybody that's new, um, two questions. Where are you coming from? And is your morning routine coffee, tea, or caffeine free? Coffee, tea, or caffeine free? So I don't know if anybody's new here, but hi. I'm sorry. I know I'm squinting. I can't really see. Hi, Janice. So welcome everybody. So, couple of things for people that are watching this as a video. If it's not Sunday morning at 11 Eastern time, you're probably catching this as a video. I'll start with the tarot stuff in just a moment or two. I like to just kind of greet people because people come in a little bit late that are that are coming in and what's going on? Mercury just went retrograde. Oh, by the way, big snowstorm coming for those of us that are in my area and in the Northeast. And one of the things, one of the psychic abilities that I had that I maintained throughout my childhood, because I was very psychic as a little child, seeing spirits and remembering past lives and all that stuff, but I could always forecast the weather. And by the time I was 7 or 8, people that I didn't even know would ask me what the weather was going to be. My mom swears that I was never wrong, which I find that hard to believe. Um, but I still do that. And I studied meteorology, and then I got into more psychic stuff than weather stuff. But the point being is that I do still do weather forecasts. And if you guys are friends or followers on Facebook, I posted a description of the storm that's coming into the Northeast, and I also have a page called the Weatherman Psychic on Facebook. So some areas may get up to 2 feet. This is a pretty big deal coming in. So anyway, just figured I'd mention that. So announcement number one is that tomorrow at 7 o'clock on the channel, I'm doing live mediumship. I do that 8 times a year, although my channel's less than a year old. It's only 7 months old, but I do that 8 times per year right around the Celtic Sabbats, which the next one's called Imbolg, which is also Candlemas, and that's right around now, February 1st, February 2nd. So 7 o'clock on the Medium channel, live mediumship. Obviously, it's free. And you might get a message. So I got this to a, I don't want to say to a science yet, but I'm figuring out how to use live stream and still do good message work. And last time was good. The one I did on Halloween was especially strong. And last time I had one message that nobody took, and then it turned out, I found out the day after, that it was somebody that I guess wasn't registered to YouTube, so they couldn't respond on the live stream. So the one message that wasn't taken was actually for somebody. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to try not to stick with any messages that nobody's taking immediately, to try to get to more people. So we have a lot of fun, and we get very specific information from. If you're able to join us tomorrow at 7 for live mediumship, awesome. I'd be happy to have you. And for the uploads this Thursday, I'm going to do an upload about chakra breathing and some breathing techniques for spiritual development. And then February 11th, I'm going to have one for the empaths. So I'm going to do a video called 11 Signs that You're an Empath, which is going to be very interesting because a lot of people are very sensitive and believe that it's a vulnerability, but it's actually a superpower. So that's what I'm going to explain in the following upload. So other than that, we're in Mercury retrograde now. That started yesterday. So this will be the first week of this retrograde. Mercury's retrograde in Aquarius, and there's a lot of activity. I think 4 or 5, maybe even 6 planets are going to be hanging out in Aquarius during February. Revolutionary change, upheaval, but it's higher mind. So again, we're progressing into the Aquarian age. We're progressing the awakenings of the 2020. So there's a big awakening cycle in it, and systems that are unsustainable, that they have been for decades, are going to start to fall, and new systems are going to rise. So, we've had, last year, the issue that started in China that spread around the world as a catalyst. We had a controversial president as a catalyst also to bring the collective shadow to the surface. So now this next period is going to be about dealing with all that stuff and watching the systems fall and new ones come in. So that's basically what's happening. Mercury retrogrades happen 3 times per year. Mercury is either in retrograde or slow for about 1/3 of the year. So we cannot freak out about Mercury retrogrades. In fact, we can use these energies in a positive way, because Mercury is the messenger. Mercury is about communication. When Mercury goes into retrograde, we're being called to kind of go back into ourselves, or more into an introspective mode, or dealing with past issues. So, like the word itself, retrograde, that begins with RE, which means to stay still or to move backwards. Things that have an RE prefix tend to work well during the Mercury retrograde. And a good example of that is reprogramming. And I did a post on Facebook and Instagram yesterday about reprogramming, because the subconscious mind works in programs. Awakening, spiritual awakening, a lot of that is understanding that we're programmed by society, social conditioning, or whatever. And a lot of that programming is negative. And when we grow spiritually, we decrease, we don't increase. We are spirit. We're all spirits having human experiences. We're all spirits in human bodies. So you're already spirits. You can't get more spiritual than what you are. So a spiritual path is about decrease. It's clearing a lot of the programming. It's clearing a lot of the false beliefs. It's clearing karma, clearing past lives, clearing shadows, or negative, or I shouldn't say negative, but challenging things that happen in our lifetimes that get suppressed. So you're already spirit. So during retrograde, this is the time to remember. It's the time to retrace. It's the time to, maybe on a more practical level, rather than buy a house, refinance a house. So it's not a negative thing if you know how to work with it. It's just a little bit challenging with things like technology. And by the way, my Wi-Fi upload speed is poor to begin with. So if I glitch out, I apologize in advance. So I think you get the gist of that. So the next 3 weeks, or so, I think it goes back around, I don't even know the date. I should have had that in my head, but I think it's around the 20th of February, or actually a little bit later in the month. Astrologers are on, please, in the live stream, post that. Now, if you're watching this and you have a psychic question, leave that in the comments, and I'll try to get to that in the next couple of days. What I do is I pull a card and give you a quick message as my thank you for watching and tuning in and being part of this. And as long as this is an intimate group, we have right now 27 people on, so we tend to get 30 to 40 usually in this. That's a pretty intimate group. And then about 1 to 200 usually watch this as a video, so that's still manageable. The point that I'm making. So last Sunday, if you recall, I was a little tad concerned about the Knight of Swords coming in, because the last 2 weeks were relatively peaceful. In hindsight, I think what that was telling us is that there's going to be a lot of swift action after the inauguration. And there has been. Our current 46th president has acted quickly on certain things like climate and stuff like that as well. And I believe on the things with vaccinations and stuff like that also as well. So if you want to look at my forecast for the whole year, I did a live stream on December 31st, which is available on the channel also. So my feeling is, and we'll see what comes up in the cards in a minute, but my feeling is that as the vaccines become more available, there's going to be more controversy, and things that are still lying beneath the surface still need to come up and need to come out. So we may go through kind of an up and down, winter into the spring season. But anyway, what I like to do to start out with the tarot work is just pull one card for everybody that's here. And let me just peek at your comments just for a second. Sorry that my big forehead is what's highlighted on the screen. Hi, Wendy. Hi. I don't know if your name's Psychedelic Actualization, but thank you for stepping in. Hi, Chris. Hi, Jared. Hi, Sharon. All right. I'm happy that you're all here. So this will be for this collective group, both live and people that watch this as a video, because all time happens right now. So even if you're watching this next Thursday, you're still part of this group. You're still part of this energy. So this will be our meditation card, and the idea is to get a little snapshot in your mind of what this card looks like, and then every day just go into the card and meditate and get messages from it. And last time it was the 10 of Swords, so the meditation was about clearing the old self, so that the new higher self can be reborn with that. So this time it is not this card. Okay, Spirit said, "No, don't pick that one." See, I'm seeing the Two of Cups in my mind, but that's not what I picked. I picked the Three of Pentacles. So I'll give you. Let me see. There's not the glare's not too bad. The Three of Pentacles. Three is about expansion and growth. The Pentacles is about the earth. It's about physical things. Money, security, and stuff like that as well. So. So this is like a master craftsman here, right? It's that's like a mason almost, and so this is about building or rebuilding. So just get an idea of that, and if you wish to do this and meditate with this card, the thing to do is just relax. Meditation is about presence. It's about clearing the mind of thoughts, because thoughts are about the past and the future, not the present. So when we stop thinking and we breathe, then we start to feel energy. We start to feel currents of vibration within us and around us. And it's so much more available, and the frequencies are getting so much higher that, in the old days, people wouldn't necessarily feel this unless they had a meditation practice for a long time. And now all you have to do is just stop breathing, be present, and you start to feel energy, which is really, really cool. So once that happens, just meditate on the card and see what messages you get. So my next step is to just do a 3-card spread. And for those of you that are learning or want to learn, and a couple of you are in my tarot class, which is really cool. And by the way, starting in March, I'm going to do a 5-part certification course on mediumship development, with the aim to be able to do readings and be able to do platform mediumship. So if anybody wants to learn that, I'm only taking 12 students. So my email is info@atombetweentheworlds.com. So that'll be about mediumship training, which is something that I'm very passionate about. Mediumship is my spiritual path. It's 24/7. So I even do sleep programs. I do my cold showers in the morning. I do my meditation. I do my deep breathing exercises, a la Wim Hof, the Iceman, and basically everything that I do is to facilitate my mediumship abilities. But through mediumship, it's not just about the people that have crossed over. It's about connecting to guides, to angels, to great spirit, or and so forth and so on. So anyway, I'm just going to focus on pulling the right 3 cards today that'll give us some information for us, but it may also be able to happen to what's going on in the world and the collective also as well. So with three card spreads, a good learning tool is every morning pull three cards, make a note of them, just maybe vibe on what you think they're trying to tell you, and then every evening review your cards and see what those cards were trying to tell you about the day. And if you keep doing this, you're going to really develop your own personal relationship with the cards. Also, card number one, for some reason they're showing me the number 12 in my mind. 12, there's 12 months of the year. That's sort of a cycle, 12 astrological signs. Maybe the things are coming around full circle. Interesting. I mean, the good news is I'm putting these on a clipboard, by the way, so you can see the cards that I picked. Also, these are the cards that I picked for the week. The Hierophant, leading into this reading, is often about the powers that be, like the government. I mean, in some decks it's called the Pope, and the Hierophant is basically a religious figure, and he's kind of standing sort of right in the way of these two pillars. It's kind of like, I'm thinking about, for those of you that like Monty Python, I'm thinking about the bridge keeper on the one about the knights. What was that movie called? It was their first full length movie. I can't remember the name of it, unfortunately, but I'm remembering the bridge keepers, like, before you pass this bridge, answer me these questions 3. So this is kind of like the person that's making you answer the questions, and then the final person tricks them because he asks, "What is the speed of a swallow?" and then the whichever one of the knights said, "Is that an African or European swallow?" And then the bridge keeper goes, "I don't know," and then he falls into the bridge, basically. So this is talking about like the outer forms of things, and I feel like it's telling us still to trust your intuition. There may be some kind of leading news or misleading news that comes up, or things that come up around the government, or things that we should do. So a lot of times this is about outer forms of religion, but taken into the context of what's going on in the world. This may be something about some questionable news, or things that come up. It's telling us to basically dig a little bit deeper than what's on the surface. And that doesn't mean to buy into wild conspiracy theories. I find even the craziest conspiracy theories often come from a foundation of fact, but then people can be very imaginative also. But the point being is that I feel like with this, and the Hangman, when it's reversed, is telling us to be patient also, I believe. But I feel like with this card, this may be talking a little bit about something with the money markets, or the world markets, or something like that. Some news coming out about that, I want to say, as well. I wouldn't, this just popped in my mind, and it's not really showing so much in the cards. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of information around like UFOs, or things of that nature, because I think pretty much everybody that's here, it's at least open to the possibility of life beyond this planet. And I think a lot of you really believe that. I mean, I do too. It's just kind of like, with me, it's like there's millions of galaxies, and each galaxy has millions of planets. Like, how could this be the only planet that has life? Really. And also, through quantum physics, we're proving that time's really an illusion, and we have the abilities to go into different timelines. Point being is that some UFOs may be our own future, for all we know, or even other dimensions of reality. This is also giving me a science feeling. So there may be a few things that come up with science. There may be some meetings that come up behind the scenes about things like global warming or climate or stuff like that as well. All in all, these cards aren't hitting me that hard, and I think during this retrograde energy, people are generally taking a step back. And then the Hangman, usually is about patience. So when it's reversed like this, the feeling that I get is actually as I'm talking, I'm getting a different meaning. I almost feel like these two cards together are just trying to tell us to maybe to apply more action, even though we're in a retrograde. And during the retrograde, it's more of a time of contemplation than action. I feel like they're saying, for us to research things and understand things a little bit more or a little bit deeper, stuff like that as well. Um, I'm seeing the world card. I'm just going to peek this around because it's a little bit hard for me to relax and get vibes from these when I'm doing this as well. Um, I think like they're also saying that something may come up that's a little bit of a setback in the vaccination process also as well, whether that's distribution of the doses or people being a little bit leery. I mean, people are because the testing process is questionable, and there's a lot of conjecture about the motivation behind the vaccines, and the issue of the thing that's spread around the world also as well. I'm trying to dance around the YouTube algorithm because some creators have been censored by mentioning certain things. But nobody's watching. It's just an algorithm that picks up on keywords and phrases. But in any event, um, I do believe that if you look at the ruling powers, I think either the elite or deep state are the words that are given now, but this is nothing new. It's been this way for forever, that there's been a small group of people that rule everything, and they evolve out of that control energy that's been basically the last 3,000 plus years on the earth to moving into free will. So it's kind of like humanity hasn't had free will for 3,000 plus years. So it's relatively new in our collective consciousness. And what I mean by that is that there's a lot of control, like through like monarchies, through like rich people were slave to the richest, poor people were slaves, indigenous people were conquered and indoctrinated into some other nations' ideologies and even their language. That happened in the United States, obviously, as well, with the Native Americans. So now we're being offered free will, but because it's new, subconsciously people are sabotaging that, and we create our reality. By the way, it's all energy, even though what we create energetically, other people step in, and it seems like other people control us or whatever, but we're being called upon to not be in that kind of victim mentality state, to understand that every thought, emotion, feeling, and action carries an energy and a resonance, and we're all connected. Through quantum physics proves that we are all connected, that there's no separation. It's just an illusion. So the point being is that we create these scenarios in our lives that challenge our freedom. Like, how many people have been in a relationship with somebody who's a narcissist or a control freak and they can't be free, or they're in a job cycle that they can't be free from, basically. And it's uncomfortable. That's because we're being called upon to express our free will. And that's our a level of evolution. That's like human beings, as a race, crawling and trying to learn how to walk now, but then falling over a few times. So that's just something to keep in mind. And these cards are sort of reminding me of this, because even though the Hierophant is about religion, which is about spirituality, there's someone or something we have to get through in order to get to see what's behind these pillars, which is spirit itself. So there's a lot of outer forms of religion and spirituality too. It's not limited to organized religion. There's a lot of spiritual systems that have a hierarchy, that have an ego attached to it, and we have to get past that ego in order to get to divinity, basically. So in any event, I know I see some people have come in a little bit later. If you want to catch the whole thing, you can catch the rerun of this as well. So what I wanted to do to finish up, I wanted to firstly check you. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Thank you, Tony. Yes. Although my favorite movie by them was The Meaning of Life. I never laughed so hard in my life from watching that movie. Um, yeah, British humor's not everybody's cup of tea, but if you like it, Monty Python was very politically relevant and it's hysterical. So thank you, Tony. Tony's my brother, so I'm honored to have my brother watching also as well. Um, and just checking out, getting past our own ego. Yeah. Yeah, you can take this on many different levels. There's the microcosm and the macrocosm, right? And they're really the same. They're just on a different scale. So we have an individual ego, then we have a collective ego. So this can represent our own egos, then it can represent the collective ego. And I know because this has been 2020 has been my year for intense shadow work. And the isolation kind of forced that, but it was my time. And our shadows are basically just our subconscious patterns, both individually and collectively, and that which is holding us back in life, from our spirits. I've been doing a lot of that, and oh my gosh, it's been I didn't even know that I had so many issues still in me. I thought I was more free than I was, honestly, but that's the ego, right? And the ego gives us these illusions that wants to keep us from growing, because our egos are survival instinct. They're our individual, our separateness is our egos. And when we become separate, when we lose our connection through the heart to all of life and all beings, then we become self-important. And when we become self-important, then that creates a lot of problems. And if we're in our ego and our self-importance, it's like, oh, I can't possibly have shadows anymore. I have grown. I am spiritual. I don't have that anymore. Wrong, Adam, you do. So I had to go back and deal with that, and I still am. And it's always a process, but our egos to deal with our survival as the individual. When we start to grow spiritually, our energy changes, our thoughts changes, our emotions changes, and the ego's like, wait a second, I feel threatened, I'm dying. And then the ego really tries to mess with that and interfere with your growth. So very good, Carla. Thanks for pointing that out. That's why I like to read your comments, because you guys pick up on things that I don't a lot of times as well. Oh, Janice and Tony. Janice is my son's mom, also, and then one of my best friends now. So I'm glad that you guys are on and everything. Thank you as well. Letting go, yes, letting go to rediscover yourself. So I try to keep these as at a half hour, because it's a Sunday morning and we all have things to do. And prepare for a snowstorm maybe also. So, I wanted to do an angel card. Yes. So this is our message from the angels for today. This is Doreen Virtue's Messenger from the Angels card. I need to get some new angel cards as well. I mean, Doreen Virtue, through her channel work, she has her own, kind of her own interpretation, but they've always worked well for me. So this one, no, this one. Hold on. Okay, Spears. No, I need the right card. Here we go. Archangel Gabriel. Gabriel's the awakener. So that's perfect. So this week is about really focusing on awakening. Mercury's in retrograde. We can step back a little bit and go inward a little bit. That's what the Mercury retrograde is good for. Mercury's about the mind. Mercury is relates to the sign Gemini. Also Virgo, but Virgo is more of an earth Mercury, where Gemini is more of an air Mercury. So Mercury's the true ruler of Gemini. I think with Virgo, it's more like an undisc planet or something like that, honestly. I mean, I'm on the cusp of Virgo, and I have a lot of planets in Virgo, so I'm very Virgo, even though I'm a Libran. So anyway, the little caption, if I can read it, you're you have an important life purpose involving communication and the arts. Please don't allow insecurities to hold you back. I will help you. So we know Archangel Gabriel is about communication. In a lot of the more modern or new age interpretation of the archangel, which by the way aren't just about religion. There were angel glyphs drawn in Cro-Magnon or one of the ancient caveman caves. They depicted those, and different cultures around the world depict winged spirits or winged beings. So it's not just Judaism, it's not just Catholicism, just to put that out there. And I always see the horn, like Gabriel, blow your horn, basically. And I always see Gabriel as the awakener, as the bringer of the of new consciousness, of new realities, new ideas. And this is the 2020s is the biggest awakening in and the biggest step in evolution that we've had in a really, really long time, to be quite honest. Yeah, I think you have to go back to prehistory, maybe back to Atlantis or Lemuria to find a similar awakening cycle. So Archangel Gabriel is working with us. So if you want to do this as per Steve Nobel, who I love his meditations on YouTube. So based on his work, and other people also, one of the symbols you can use for Archangel Gabriel is a silver chalice surrounded by diamond white fire. And if you visualize that, that brings the energies of Archangel Gabriel to you. I look at the angels as energies and parts of collective consciousness that can appear in certain ways because of the collective belief, but I see them as energies, part of who we are as a collective. And so if you visualize a silver chalice with diamond white fire and call Gabriel to you and just see what comes or see how you feel, and you may get messages that way. So on that note, let us finish for the day. Tomorrow night at 7 on the Medium channel, free live mediumship, through the live stream. So, please join us. You might get a message also. Sometimes I've been known to maybe give away a free reading, so that may or may not happen. I'm not promising, but okay, yeah, I'm resorting to what's that called? Not advertising, to marketing tactics. So now that I said it, I have to do it. But the point being is that this channel, I started this because Spirit told me to last New Year's Eve. My main objective is to help, be one of the voices for awakening and to help create community. So I get a little bit salesy when I talk about my channel because I'm really passionate about awakening and helping people. So yeah, I'm marketing a little bit. So yeah, we might do a little giveaway also. But the main thing is I'll do messages and connect you with your loved ones on the other side. So anyway, again, thank you everybody for joining us today. Next Sunday, we'll do it again with Tarot Time. This Thursday's upload on the Medium channel is going to be about breathing exercises to work with your chakra system, your energetic systems. So, and if you missed my video last week, it was about money magnetization. So a couple of people question, why am I doing money videos on the Medium channel? Because money is spirit also. It's the energy of abundance. It's the current of currency. So I find being able to attract money or what you want in your life to be a very spiritual exercise. And the more money that I have, the more that I can share spirit with the world. So that's why I do a money video occasionally on the channel also. So again, thank you everybody. God and Goddess bless. Namaste and aloha. And we'll see you next time. And whoever birthday it is, can sing happy birthday messages. Happy birthday to the Aquariuses here. Okay. Ciao.